So we've reached the end of section 7, and in this section it was all about error handling. And what we've done here is we've implemented global error handling in both the API and the Angular application. From the side of our API, we didn't do too much work. What we did was set up our own API exception class, which we now return via the exception handling middleware that we created, so that we return our own exceptions to the client rather than relying on the developer exception middleware that's provided by .NET Core. Now, that middleware is suitable for development or production because we're not going to send details errors back in production mode. We're only going to send the basics. Whereas in development mode, we still want to get the most amount of information about any problems we encounter. What we also did was took a look at Angular interceptors, and yes, it was a bit of work to set up, but this gives us a lot of bang for our setup bucks, because what we'll find now is that anytime we make or create a method that makes an HTTP request to our API, we don't need to do anything with the errors. We've got an error interceptor now that's going to check the responses for every response that comes back from our API, and we've told it what to do with each kind of different error. We might need to tweak it later on, but it's going to solve almost all of our API error handling problems. And what we also took a look at was how to troubleshoot exceptions, or what we really did was create ourselves a helper page that's going to give us the most amount of information that we can get about a server exception. And what I'd encourage you to do from this point forward is to really try and solve the issues that you create for yourself on this course. And you will create an issue. It's almost guaranteed. This is a coding course, and unless your name is Neo and we're in the Matrix, then you're probably at some point going to run into an issue of your own creation on this course. And problems that we create in our code are both frustrating, but they also can be very rewarding. If we get stuck on something and it takes us a little while to solve, then we do two things. First of all, we end up researching and learning a lot about the feature that we're trying to implement and the things that we're using to implement that feature. Also, when we have spent a bit of time trying to solve something and we finally solve it, it's quite a nice feeling to have when you can solve your own problems. So please do try and troubleshoot and fix your own problems, because that's all part of the job. And it comes with a territory that we're in now. So that's the end of this section. What we're going to do next is, now we've got all of the architecture elements in place, we've got everything in place now, so we can just start adding feature after feature after feature onto our application, because we've got all of the building blocks in place that make the foundation of our application, and we'll start to look at that next.